Chris Carrino here with WFUV Sports covering this Friday Night Metropolitan matchup between the Washington Capitals and the New Jersey Devils. It's Military Appreciation Night in Newark. Before the game, I had the privilege of catching up with Devils Radio play-by-play broadcaster Matt Loughlin on the current state of the New Jersey Devils.
So the Devils return home on the 2-2 road trip. They're kind of wonky. They lose to Colorado after playing a heck of a game for 2 periods. No Jack Hughes, no Nico Heiser. So they're weaker down the middle, and they'll play without them tonight as they take on a Washington team that beat them 6-4 last time they met. I think the Devils and their folks are tightening things up. They can score goals. That's been too much of the emphasis. Protecting the net, playing strong in their own end is something that Lindy Ruff has preached time and time again. The boys talked about it this morning. We'll see if they can put those lessons to good use tonight.
Capitals, they started this game on the power play early in the first period. Capitals offense piled it on the Devils, including 2 Alexander Ovechkin slap shots. But the Devils, they defended it well, and they killed the penalty. But danger around the corner, Capitals strike first. It's Nicholas Aube-Kubel with his first goal of the season and the first of the game with 9:38 to go in that first period. And then just 15 seconds later, seemed like immediately after, they double that lead. It's Beck Malliston with the goal for the Caps. It's now 2 unanswered goals for Washington inside the first 11 minutes of this game. Both teams received power play opportunities during the tail end of the period. Neither team really could convert on it. Scores stayed the same entering the first intermission. It's 2-0 Capitals. Both teams, they jockeyed for position in the first 5 minutes of the second, but with 13:22 to go in the second, Kuznetsov scores on the breakaway. It's now 3 unanswered goals for Washington halfway through that second period. Rest of the second period, it was a bit uneventful, to be honest. Capitals have trouble adding to their 3-goal lead, and the Devils, they continue to struggle to gain any sort of momentum and struggle to give the Rock really anything to cheer about through that second period. Toward the back half of the period, Prudential Center crowd was obviously getting a bit restless, getting a bit frustrated with their squad. It's 3-0 Capitals heading into the locker room for the second intermission. To start the third period, the Devils, they had 2 power play opportunities inside the first 5 minutes of the period, and they were both unsuccessful, including a golden opportunity for Dougie Hamilton right in front of the net. A little bit later, 12:47 left in the game, Timo Meier scores and really injects some life into the Rock. Devils still trail by 2, but some much-needed momentum. And then 2 minutes later, Devils score again. It's Dawson Mercer. They're scoring in pairs with a doorstep tip-in goal. Devils have cut their deficit to 1, and the Prudential Center is absolutely rocking. Not a ton of action down the stretch. Eventually, with a minute and change to go, Evgeny Kuznetsov, he scores the empty netter, putting a bow on this fantastic Capitals performance. It's 4-2 Caps. And that's how the game would end. Capitals win their second game in Jersey of the season, 4-2. Timo Meier talked about his team's confidence after the game.
Losing again.
How would you evaluate the team's confidence level right now? Obviously, some slow games the past couple months.
Yeah, confidence. I think you can earn confidence with hard work, and if we work hard, and sometimes you might not have the legs, you might be feeling tired, but that's not an excuse. You just got to go out there and simplify your game even more. Tough road trip and coming back, and there's no excuses. So we just got to go out there and grind. And if we feel like we don't got it today, just simplify it and work.
Does it almost feel like you guys can't?
Lindy Ruff, Devils head coach, also spoke after the game and spoke on the Devils' execution tonight.
Great opportunities to tie it up.
Is it frustrating when, that Timo's goal goes in and then it breathes a little bit of life back into the team where they're pushing even more, that wasn't, able to come to life a little bit earlier, regardless of whether they were scoring or not?
Again, our execution, we had chances to make plays. You have to make the plays when they're there. You have to trust that when you get in that position, you're either shooting or you're making the play. We had some plays that we left out, and I think our power play is resembled, which has been going really good. It had a good night scoring in Colorado, but it had a tough night giving up. tonight we didn't quite execute, and their power play was like our 5-and-5 game. We gained some traction in the third. I mean, you get to the third, you talk about winning the first 5 minutes. We did that. Then you try to get back in the game. We did that. We had the next shift. Jesper Bratt coming around the net. We got to Foley. If we execute, it's a 3-3 game. I think those are plays that we need to make. We need to execute. That we didn't.
The pulling of Vitek.
Devils fall to 7-5-1 on the season. Hope to get their season back on track on Tuesday in Winnipeg. For WFUV Sports, I'm Chris Carrino.